Hello everyone, I'm Professor Lee of Dr. Anti-Aging and Herbal Medicine TV. Have you ever heard of the Edelweiss flower? In German, Edel means noble or pure, and Weiss means white. So, Edelweiss means noble and pure white. This beautiful flower became the world famous through the song Edelweiss from the movie The Sound of Music, where it symbolized love for one's homeland and family. The most iconic Edelweiss is the Alpine Edelweiss, which grows naturally in the Alps and is the most well-known. But did you know there are other kinds too? There's snow Edelweiss from Europe's snowy mountain regions, the Himalayan Edelweiss, the Japanese Edelweiss from central Japan's mountains, the Siberian Edelweiss from the highland of Russia and Mongolia, and several rare types in China like the Chinese Edelweiss and Yunnan Edelweiss. And right here in Korea, we have two native types, the Korean Edelweiss, and today's highlight, the extremely rare bristle-tip Edelweiss. In fact, it's believed to be the rarest Edelweiss in the world with the smallest known population. Despite the different locations, Edelweiss flowers share some beautiful traits. One, they grow in high-altitude mountains, usually between 1,500 to 3,000 meters above sea level. They are tough little plants that can handle freezing temperature, strong winds, and intense UV rays. You often find them growing in cracks between rocks. Two, they bloom during the high mountain summer, usually from June to August. Three, they have those famous star-shaped flowers covered in silver-white hairs. But there's a secret. What looks like the flower is actually called an involucre, a protective layer of fuzzy leaves that shield the real flower inside from sun, cold, and wind. It also helps with photosynthesis. The actual flower is a tiny yellowish-brown cluster in the center, very typical of a plant in the sunflower family. 4. Edelweiss symbolize purity, courage, tradition, and conservation. It's also the face of alpine environmental protection campaigns. In Switzerland, it's such an important symbol that it appears on military badges, banknotes, and more. So now, let's take a close look at the world's most rarest Edelweiss. Locally, it's known as something like mountain cotton hare's leg. The basal leaves are coated in soft white fluff with even more fudge on the underside. They grow close to the ground and have a broad lance-like shape. From that base, a flower stalk grows up and blooms in early summer. Again, that yellow-brown dot in the center is the true flower, and the white star around it is the involucre. Wow, look at all that fuzz. Of course, other Edelweiss types are also woolly, like the Alpine Edelweiss here on the left, also blanketed in white hairs. But the Korean bristle-tip Edelweiss is different. Its hairs are slightly stiffer, which is how it got its name. Seen from a little distance, its soft white glow is just stunning, and it's so tiny, barely 20 centimeters tall. I found this one growing on a rocky peak at 1,300 meters above sea level. I even spotted another one higher up, so I climbed a bit further. And there it was, maybe the rarest Edelweiss in the world, blooming quietly in a narrow crack between steep rocks, embraced by the stillness of the Alpine mountains. Seeing that one small brave flower, it felt like a tiny miracle, a symbol of life standing strong through time and wind. And it reminded me, in the face of nature, we should always remain humble.